All right, maybe it's a broken record for some of you, this whole BYU talk that I've been on the last couple weeks. But you know what? I'll talk about your team like this when they are gracious enough to offer yours truly the honor of coming on campus for an awesome weekend. Right? You talk about it too. Now I've gotten some pictures and videos back from this weekend of what I included over there in Provo, Utah. And again, I will die on this hill. BYU does it different than anyone else. Roger Sherman, who was also there with me and is staying at my house this weekend, the Ringer, 100,000 Twitter followers, big dude, was also there. Said the best atmosphere he's seen this year is Pitt, West Virginia. Makes sense. But he was the most blown away with BYU. Just shocked that this group of people who are so strictly tied to a faith, right? 95% of them are strictly tied to a faith. There's no alcohol at the games. There's no alcohol post-game. Everything's very, very conservative in that respect. But it creates one of the more unique, special, fun, sober environments in college football. And I was invited out on BYU Sports Nation game day, broadcast to 1 million households, by the way. 1 million households saw a game day this past weekend. It was conference weekend for the LDS faith. They had a massive conference in Salt Lake City. A lot of people were glued to this BYU Cincinnati game on Friday. And I was given the opportunity to pick the winner of that game. And let's see if I did it correctly.
Who wins this thing?
Look, Cincinnati's defense is really good. Yep. That front, they fill the box. They're going to stop the run, and they don't have to. BYU's run offense is non-existent at this point. Keaton Slovis has not been as dual threat as you would have liked for a guy that is off his parents' insurance. He can rent a car. He's got a reverse mortgage. This guy's been in college football for a while. I can tell you what he can do. It's throw the ball. If BYU airs it out, they've got a real shot in this game. But Scott Satterfield, Emory Jones, Cincinnati, they gave Oklahoma a fight. I think Cincinnati has the edge in tonight's game. I think they've got a real shot to win this, Give me that head. I got the BYU Cougars by double digits. Double digits, 34-18. Give me the Cougars. I respect it. Thank you, guys.
Lee Corso would be so proud.
I hope so. You look good.
Big 12, Locked On Big 12 podcast. Thank you for being here in Provo. Have a great time tonight.
Hey, thank you guys so much. Go Cougs.
Good to have you here.
Wow, how fun was that, huh? I got to pull the Lee Corso on BYU Sports Nation game day. I did hold the belt upside down. I did have a belt, I had a helmet. If you're listening on podcast, you're probably kind of confused. I had a belt, I had a helmet. Rah, rah. That's not what I said, but it's kind of the vibe of the moment. Wow, what a cool, where else do you get that in America? Where else do you get that at a college football game prior to the game? Very few places, if any. The pictures came back as well, and also if you're listening on audio, I can give you a play-by-play. Look, just the beauty of the mountains in the background of this place is really spectacular. Having a panel of guys who mostly played, coached, 3 of the 4 played for BYU at various eras and got to experience truly what it's like to be a BYU Cougar. And the production quality of this stuff is just remarkable. I mean, you've got students that are lined up. You can see students lined up all behind the set while you're live. The camera's rolling. Even past that, you see fans that are walking into Lavelle Edwards Stadium. They all have signs held up. I had my own sign that I made later on in the day. I mean, I got to throw on a BYU helmet. Got to get fired up at the desk. I mean, here's a picture of me just screaming into the void about something. And while it's a very professional show, it's very well put together, I felt like I got to bring the screaming young guy vibe there for a little bit. Just hey guys, in the middle of your well put together professional show, I would like to bring just an ounce of chaos, which is what I did. And the other hosts didn't know. Only one of the 4 hosts knew what was about to happen. So genuine reactions out of all those guys. And then I met this dude, Angel, who had an I Heart Drake sign. Angel, I want you to know my mother saw this, and she was floored. I think my mother enjoyed this more than anybody else did, more than I did. Angel's a stud. There were so many BYU fans who came and said hello. They've listened to the podcast, and that was a very fun thing to see. Gratifying, again, wherever your school is, I'm excited to go and do the thing there. I think West Virginia is on my list. I need to go to West Virginia. Somebody call your local congressman and say, look, we got to get the host of Locked On Big 12 to a football game at X location. Because this was red carpet, blue carpet rolled out in every way at BYU. And I just had a blast. Again, I want to emphasize, I come from a town of 3,000 people, little Felonia, Arkansas, right? I'm not used to any of this. My dad doesn't get it. My dad's wondering why I'm not out there mowing lawns and raking leaves and killing animals to eat. One time we were driving home. This is a true, 100% true story. We're driving home. I'm probably 12. We hit a squirrel. Absolutely. Wintertime, meat's not bad. He cooked the squirrel. We hit the squirrel. He cooked the squirrel. Ate the brain of the squirrel was dinner. I didn't eat it. My father did. Resourceful is the word you're looking for. Resourceful. Town of 3,000 people. That's what growing up was. We didn't get electricity till I was 14. We were using the little Morse code machine thing. Whatever that's called. Typewriters and stuff. And so just to see that production quality, the green room, we did hair and makeup. I haven't told my dad that yet. Don't know how he'd feel about that. But that whole spectacle is it's neat. I'm glad that BYU does that. I'm glad the university says, hey, look, we're going to spend it's got to be millions of dollars. It has to be the quality that it is. We're going to spend millions of dollars to do something that nobody else is doing, to have a quality product nobody else has. We're going to set ourselves apart. That's really admirable. And a lot of schools won't take that leap when it comes to stuff like what I do, TV, radio, that side, where a lot of people think it's a dying industry. No, we'll be talking about sports forever. BYU's ahead of the game with that stuff. So call your local school and say, hey, we need to do a game day show that's that caliber. We need to start pouring money into, and they have students that help and work on the set too. What a great experience that would be for students. All in all, blown away. Thank you, BYU. You're very kind to have me out there. I loved my time in Provo. I will do it again whenever. This has been and always will be. Come back on Sunday. I don't know what's going to happen between now and Sunday, but I know it's going to be crazy. It always is. Come back between now and Sunday. Whatever happens, know that I still love you, will always love you, and I hope the good teams win. This has been, it always will be, Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Doce Grande.